Hey guys, what's up? This is Victorian. Welcome to the Beta Legion and welcome to the Guardian Druid preview. The Guardian Druid right now is amazing. If you want to get into tanking, the Guardian Druid is something I would highly recommend. It's really fun to play, it's really good. And it's not only fun to play, it's very strong as well. So, if you want to get into tanking, a Guardian Druid is so good. 2 thumbs up, go for it. So let's dive into it, shall we? It's so amazing. I'm so happy with it. The thing with the Guardian Druid is it did not get any ability pruning. It's even the other way around. It got more abilities, yeah? And not too much, it's all good. What was the one weakness of a Guardian Druid in Water's Adrenner? Because I mained one in Water's Adrenner. It was its magical damage. It did not have any magical damage mitigation. It only had like its Barskin and the survival instincts to do with that shit. Because of the cooldowns on it, it was not something we could active mitigate. So they gave us something new. It's called Mark of Ursel, yeah? Reduces magical damage taken by 30% for 6 seconds. So we actually right now have active mitigation for magical damage, yeah? We'll also have our new Savage Defense, which is now Iron Fur. Yeah, it's not based on dodge anymore, so they increased it. Yeah, they made the active mitigation because getting dodge was fine, but it gave us the problem that the dodge wouldn't work when you got the increased dodge percentage. Yeah, about 50% it was Savage Defense, if I'm right, increases your dodge by 50%, but you still wouldn't dodge, you still would take the full hits. So Blizzard has moved away from that and say, okay, that was a bad idea, let's upgrade it, let's be better at this, and increases armor by 75% for 6 seconds. Multiple users of this ability may overlap, yeah? So, Iron Fur is the upgraded new version of Savage Defense, and this will always work, yeah? And getting armor for 75% is always good. What else do we got? We, of course, have our new ability called Rage of the Sleeper. This is our artifact ability. Unleashes the Rage... Oh, wrong button, sorry. Unleashes the Rage of Ursak for 10 seconds, preventing 25% of all damage you take. And reflecting 19k nature damage back at your target, yeah? This is how it looks. Let me just go over here, like that. Let's give out a mangle and then just... Yeah, the big badass bear gets even better, yeah? It's getting on fire, going nuts, going haywire, yeah? There you go. Very, very cool. Very, very awesome, yeah? Nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's move on. So we have 2 new active mitigations, yeah? We have, you guys seen the proc already, we have Moonfire now. A quick beam of lunar light that burns the enemy for 6k arcane damage. And that's not as much, but look at the dot, man. An additional 54k arcane damage over 16 seconds. Hello! That's a lot of damage right there. Yeah, Pulverize is still here. Everything is still here, man. We still have our Entangling Roots and our Incapacitating Roar and Typhoon, and our Roar is still here. Yeah, the Stampeding Roar is still here. Barskin is here, Survival Instinct is here. Mangle, Swipe is here. Thrash is here. Thrash is really important right now. Maul is still here as a Rage Dump. Still kind of like meh about Maul. The Tooth and Claw proc is gone. Thank God. It was just annoying. So all the cool things are still here, so let's dive into the talents. Level 15, we have Brambles. Sharp Brambles protect you, absorbing and reflecting 1.7k damage from each attack. I'm level, 91 or something. I have already 847k, so that's not really something I'm going to notice. Yeah, well, Barskin is active. The Brambles also deal 1.8 nature damage to all nearby enemies every 1 second. It's a passive, it's not a bad, but it's only 1700 damage, yeah, from each attack. I understand it's like a thing that sustains, yeah, it decreases the damage you take by a really sustained amount. We have Bristling Fur. Bristle your fur, causing you to generate rage based on damage taken for 8 seconds. But we have really good active mitigation, yeah, in both magical and physical. And I have really good cooldowns, so I don't want to take a lot of damage. This is not what I want. Thank you. No, it's not something I want to go to. Blood Frenzy right now is the way to go. Thrash also generates 2 rage each time it deals damage. Now let's go over Thrash here. Thrash strikes all nearby enemies, dealing 16k bleed damage, yeah, and an additional 5k bleed damage over 15 seconds. When applied from Beer Form, this effect can stack up to 3 times. So you see where they're going with this. It's like almost a 50k bleed damage and then another 15k bleed damage over 15 seconds. So actually Thresh is really strong because it can stack up 3 times. So Thresh also generates 2 raids each time it deals damage, and since the ticking damage is quite heavy, yeah, and it ticks constantly, yeah, this is gonna get you a lot of raids to spend. This is in rage generation, Blood Frenzy is really strong. It's better right now than the other 2 talents. Level 30, Wild Charge if you need to charge towards enemies, yeah, if I'm tanking something over here and a pack spawns, let me just go over here. I'm like, something spawns over there, let's go. Yeah, that's why you take, that's a option to take Wild Charge. Guttural Roars though is for your raid, yeah, for a raid or a party group. It's so strong, yeah. I'm almost sad to see because basically I will take Guttural Roars almost every time over Wild Charge, yeah. The only reason I would take Wild Charge if I need to charge regular to targets. That's the moment I would take Wild Charge. But here, have a look at Guttural Roars. Increase the radius of Stampeding Roar by 200%, the radius of Incapitating Roar by 100%, and reduces the cooldown of Stampeding Roar by 50%, yeah? So Stampeding Roar goes down for 2 minutes to a 1 minute cooldown. So if there's any raid movement in a boss fight, you're gonna go for Guttural Roars, because you can actually take care of your entire raid, yeah? So bring out everybody. The radius is increased by 200%. Within 10 yards, so it's going to be about 20 yards. Everybody can get you can actually position yourself and be like, you guys going to come with me every minute. Every minute you're going to be like, yo, let's go. I got this. Here we go. You can do that every minute. Yeah. And the radius of your Incapitating Roar, which is, evokes the Spirit Orso to let loose a deafening roar, incapitating all enemies within 10 yards for 3 seconds. Damage will cancel the effect, but basically you can mass interrupt, and that goes down. Increases the radius of that, yeah? Normally that's on a 10 yards, it's going to be a 20 yards AoE ability, yeah? AoE interrupt, I have to say. Sorry for my English there. Level 45, we have the Balance Affinity, the Feral Affinity, and the Restoration Affinity. Now, from a survival standpoint, your Zero's Gift is the best, yeah? Heals you for 3% of your maximum health every 5 seconds, yeah? Clear winner. If you're full health, a random nearby injured ally will be healed instead. The thing you can do with this is that the moment, let's say you're tanking a boss fight, the other tank is tanking, you can actually go out of bear form and help healing, yeah? You can put on some rejuvenations, you can cast some regrowths, you can use Swiftment, which is pretty strong, yeah? Instantly heals a friendly target for 75k, that's not bad. You can cast some healing touches, so you can off-heal, yeah, when it's needed. The Feral Affinity is something I think they're going to be fights we will be taking Feral Affinity just pure for the movement speed increase, yeah? Increases your movement speed by 15%. And you also get, of course, Shred, Rip, and Ferocious Bite, so you can actually do damage in cat form, yeah? Your energy regeneration is increased by 35%. So, when you're not tanking, you could go into cat form and do damage. Balance Affinity, yeah, increases the range of all your abilities by 5 yards. Don't really see the need of this. But what I've understood is that, and it was kind of hard to test this because, for me personally, because I did not tank, I only tanked dungeons, so I never could into Feral Affinity, or I never could go out of bear form or whatever, because I never had a second tank. So I couldn't proper test this yet, but what I'm seeing with this is that, what I'm hearing from other players and other tanks I talked to, some other Guardian Druids who did do the raid tanking, is that the Balance Affinity does more damage than the Feral Affinity right now, so if you want to do some really proper damage, when you're not tanking, when the other tank is having the boss and you don't have anything to tank, and you want to do proper, some really good damage, I understood, I talked to these guys saying that the Balance Affinity does more damage than the Feral Affinity, and that's why some tanks are going with this, yeah? I just want to do good DPS when I'm not tanking, so I'm going balance. DPS, survivability-wise, Restoration is just the one to go for. Level 60, you guys know the drill, pick whatever you like, yeah? Mighty Bash, Mangle Entanglement, Typhoon, nothing changed. Level 75, we have Soul of the Forest, Incarnation, and Galactic Guardian. Galactic Guardian is new. Soul of the Forest does what it always does, yeah? Mangle generates 5 more raids and deals 15% more damage. Incarnation is still the Incarnation as it used to be, yeah? But Galactic Guardian is new. Your damage has a 10% chance to trigger a free automatic Moonfire on the target. When this occurs, the next Moonfire you cast generates 15 rage. it procs really, really regular. You already have seen it when I was demonstrating Rage of the Sleeper, that it procs really regular. So right now, this gives you a lot of extra rage. So that's why Galactic Guardian is right now the item to go for. Level 90, we have Earth Warden. Every 6 seconds you gain a charge of Earth Warden, reduces the damage of your next auto attack you take by 30%. Yeah, Earth Warden may have up to 3 charges. So it actually comes down to 90%. It could have a 90% damage reduction on auto attacks, but right now Guardian of Elune is way stronger, and I will get to that. Mango increases the duration of your next Iron Fur or Mark of Ursel by 2 seconds. Or the healing of your next Frenzied Regeneration by 20%. Thanks to Guardian of Elune, you can have your Iron Fur up 24/7. Or your Mark of Ursel, whatever you need. Those 2 seconds are perfect. So you never ever have to let it drop off. This is really, really good. And this is why Guardian of Elune is better than Earth One. I'd rather have 75% extra armor for the entire fight, or reduce medical damage taken by 30% for 6 seconds the entire time, yeah, the entire boss fight, than going for Earth Warden. Yeah, Survival of the Fittest, it's kind of a boring talent. Reduce the cooldowns of Barch King and Survival Instincts by 33 per second. So Barch King goes for 1 minute 46 to 1 minute, and Survival Instincts from 4 minutes to 3. Yeah. Level 100, we have Pure, straight up. I'm gonna pick this right now. Straight up for survivability wise. If you go for pure survivability, Pulverize is the best, yeah? A devastating blow that consumes 2 stacks of your Thrash on the target, deals 50k physical damage, and reduces all damage you take by 8% for 20 seconds, yeah? Thrash only has a cooldown of 5.8 seconds, so I can basically Pulverize almost every 10 seconds. It's going to be like every 11.6 seconds, I can actually Pulverize, yeah? But it lasts there for 20 seconds, so I can Pulverize basically once every 4 Thrashes. Yeah, roughly. Not entirely, but you guys know what I mean. So I don't have to refresh it the entire time. And the fun thing is that Thrash hits everything, yeah? Thrash is hitting everything in an 8-yard range. It's not like the old thing with Lacerate. Lacerate is one of the abilities we lost. No love lost there. Because the only thing you use Lacerate for is you wanted to have 3 Lacerate stacks and then use a Pulverize in WoD. That's how it played in WoD. But it was really annoying with AoE packs because you would dot up, you were trying to get, let's say the first boss of Hellfire Citadel, you were trying to get 3 Lacerate stacks on a target to use your Pulverize, and the target was already dead, and it was hard to keep up because the ads were dying so quickly. With Thrash, they fixed it right now, yeah? You just use Thrash 2 times and then you can press Pulverize. And it's not a pain in the ass to keep up on AoE fights as well. Lacerate was fine against single target, but the Lacerate problem was just with heavy AoE fights. And they fixed that with Thrash. So, and since we only almost have to use Pulverize only once every 4 Thrashes, it's not annoying to keep up at all. So it's a really good job there. I'm really happy with the change. Run and Tear is pretty good as well. While in Bear form, Thrash also increases your damage dealt to the target and reduces your damage taken from the target by 2% per application of Thrash. Now we know that Thrash stacks up 6 times. So this gives us a 6% damage reduction, and Pulverize gives us a 8% damage reduction. If you need the extra DPS wise, Rend and Tear does more DPS than Pulverize. Yeah, so DPS it pulls ahead, but it has slightly less survivability. Straight up survivability. If you want to get the max survivability out of your Guardian Druid, out of your tank, and that's usually what I'm going for. I just want to be as good as in surviving. My survivability means the most. Yeah, I'm never going to be top DPS as a tank. So that's why I'm going with Pulverize. You know, I'm a tank because of tanking, not of DPSing. However, if your raid needs the DPS, or if you would like to do some more DPS, or you need it for a certain burn phase, then you can stack it up with Incarnation, Guardian of Ursak of whatever. You can go for Run of Tear, and it still gives you really decent damage reduction. Yeah, 6% versus 8%. So Run of Tear is really not bad. It's pretty good. It gives you more DPS, but slightly less survivability. Pulverize pulls ahead of survivability. And Lunar Beam is just not interesting at all. It's a new ability. Summons a beam of lunar light at your location, dealing 61k damage, yeah, and healing you for 178k. I have 847k health. So this would be nice if this was an oh shit heal, yeah? I would like to see this because it's so lackluster, 178k over 8 seconds, so it takes some time. I would rather see like a lunar beam comes from the sky and heals you for like, I don't know, 50% of your HP, or for like 300k or something, yeah? This right now is just too weak sauce compared to Pulverize and Run of Tear. I would like to see lunar beam changed. So, how does this play? Did I pick Pulverize? Yeah, I picked Pulverize. Basically, what we're going to do is, let's charge in. You're going to use your Mangle on cooldown, you're going to use your Trash on cooldown, and you're going to put your Moonfire up and track the dot. You're going to use your Mangle and Moonfire procs on cooldown, and when you have 2 stacks of Lacerate, you're going to use Pulverize. In the meantime, you're going to spend your Rage, yeah, on your active mitigation. Use Thrash on cooldown, use Swipe as a filler. Now I'm almost rage capped. The moment I'm almost rage capped is the moment to use Maul, yeah? So that's the moment I'm going to use Maul. And I want to keep up my active mitigation, yeah? I want to keep up my Pulverize. And as you can see, rage is never the question, yeah? I can keep my active mitigation up. I can keep my Pulverize up, no problem. Pulverize is running out in 9 seconds, there we go. Mangle, active mitigation, Moonfire because it procs, Thrash up, active mitigation, Mangle and my Moonfire. You can see where this is going, right? This is really, really good. It all ticks very, very good together, yeah? And there's no reason to actually let your Iron Fur or your Mark of Ursel drop off. Now, Maul is the most boring thing in there is right now. Yeah, it's cost 20 rays. Maul's target for 6k physical damage, which is really, really weak. Yeah, compared to Swipe. Swipe doesn't consume any rage. Yeah, Swipe nearby enemies, inflicting 17k physical damage. You could use Maul as the reason that Maul exists is of a rage dump. Yeah, I understand, I get it, but to even waste a global cooldown, I'd rather go in Tunneling Swipe because it does so much more damage. So, Mangle on cooldown, Thrash on cooldown, Moonfire to track the dot or when it procs. When you have 2 stacks of Thrash, we're throwing in Pulverize, keep your active mitigation up, use Swipe as a filler. Basically, that's it. Now, if we remove Pulverize and going for Run of Tear, let's do that just for a moment. Let's charge in again. It becomes more simple, yeah? Use Mangle. Use Thrash, pull up Moonfire, use the Mangle proc of course, active mitigation, Swipe, it procs again. Yeah, as you can see, there we go. It's just the same, you just don't use Pulverize anymore. This is just how it is. Then you go down to a 4 button rotation basically. Use your Thrash on cooldown, use your Mangle on cooldown, use it when they're proccing. Use your Thrash as filler and keep up your active mitigation. Yeah. That's it. That's how simple it becomes without Pulverize. It's almost a little bit boring without Pulverize. Yeah, Pulverize, the only thing with Pulverize, at least I have something to track, right? Usually I'm tracking Moonfire, but it procs so much because when it procs, it means that your next Moonfire roll increases your rage. And like you can see, you're always look there, it just procced. And then it procs for me, like, oh, you're getting extra rage from the free Moonfire, but now your next Moonfire will give you 15% extra rage. There you go, capped. Yeah, that's why if you use it on proc, and it procs a lot, oh, that's the wrong button, sorry. The Galactic Guardian is proccing so much, as you can see, that your rage is never a problem. And you could throw Maul in there to dump the rage. And I can do that. I mean, I'm pretty high on rage right now, and I can say, like, oh, I need to remove that, but you know, the global cooldown wasted on a Maul. Only the button press, it doesn't even, I mean, Thrash is not even on the global cooldown, but it's on a very, you can use it, but the physical damage is so lackluster. But you can use Maul, only use it when you don't have to use your active mitigation, yeah? Only use Maul when you don't have to use Iron Fur or Mark of the Old Soul and your rage capped, then you use Maul. As long as you're not rage capped or almost rage capped, like on a 90 rage or higher, don't use Maul and just keep your focus on Mangle, Thrash, your Moonfire, and Swipe as a filler, and use your active mitigation. I don't know what's. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. The clock is going off in Darkness. I was wondering, like, what is that? So that's what you're going for. The thing is, if you don't use Maul, yeah, and I tried this out, you can have, if you want to, and if you're playing this really, really, if you're timing everything really correctly, making sure you're on top of that with the tell me when and everything, and I've did this in dungeons, is that you can have Iron Fur, sorry, and Mark of Ursel both up at the same time, yeah? You can have both up, then you're gonna be like, okay, I'm having this boss fight which does physical and magical damage, I'm just gonna keep both up. And I managed to do that by ignoring Mal and getting so much rage that I was able to use both of them during a boss fight in a dungeon. I was keeping both up at the same time, which was absolutely crazy. Yeah, but it is possible. So there you go. That's the Guardian Druid. We're gonna have a quick look at the artifact talent. Here we go. So this is, I already showed you guys this Rage of the Sleeper. Yeah, and 1.5 minute cooldown. Another elite talent is Adaptive Fur. Let me close this down. Taking elemental damage has a chance to grant you 10% damage reduction for 15 seconds against the elements that cause the damage. So you get fell magic damage, fire damage, frost damage, yeah, shadow damage. It has a chance to proc and give you 10% damage reduction for 15 seconds against that type of damage. It says elemental damage, so I'm kind of assuming that those are the elemental things. I don't think this works against physical damage. Yeah, we have Gory Fur. Mango has a 15% chance to reduce the rage cost of your next Iron Fur or Mark of Ursel by 50%. Yeah, so instead of 45 rage, they're gonna be like 22.5 rage, basically. So I think it's gonna end up 22 or 23 rage, because 22.5 would be really crazy. But if that procs, yeah. If that is going to proc, then you surely should have no problems keeping both up at the same time. Yeah, so it will reduce the rage cost of those two, and you can spend your rage on Frenzied Regeneration. Frenzied Regeneration right now heals you for 50% of all damage taken in the last 5 seconds over 3 seconds. Minimum of 5% of your maximum health HP. Yeah, so it's only 10 rage, so you can use this. It was like 60 rage if I'm correct in What is Adrenaline? You had to choose between Savage Defense or Frenzied Regeneration. Right now it's only 10 range, so you can actually use it quite a lot. And then we have Embrace the Nightmare. While Rage of the Sleeper is active, you deal 25% increased damage, gain 25% increased leads, and are immune to all effects that causes loss of control of your character. We have a lot of mobs, and they're already in the Dungeons and Legion who do fear, who do stun, who do stuff to you. So that's actually pretty good. So basically you're upgrading your Rage of the Sleeper, yeah, which is your artifact abilities. It's 1.5 minute cooldown. So we're getting 25% increased damage and 25% increased leads. Very, very nice when we use that. The minor talents are stuff you already know, yeah. Increased damage dealt by Mangle by 7%. You guys seen this shit probably already. Increases the chance to trigger Gore by 5%, so that Gore can proc. Iron Fur increases armor by an additional 4%. You guys know it. Increases damage dealt by Thrash. Maulet increases the critical strike chance of your Maul. You know, you guys seen that stuff. The minor talents are just upgrading the talents you already got. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're going to tank in Legion, the Guardian Druid it's definitely a really good pick. It's really fun to play. It's really versatile. It can deal with any types of damage thrown at you. For everything a boss is throwing at you, you got the answer, yeah? And you can heal when you're not tanking. You can DPS when you're not tanking. In cat form or in moon as a Moonkin, whatever you want. It's really, really good. It's the most fun tank class there is right now. And I'm really, really happy with for the Guardian Druids. For the guys who never concerned picking it as a tanking class, I highly recommend it. Because also, don't forget, you guys are going to have awesome bear forms. Those bear forms, I made a video about it. When your artifact weapons change, you're getting new bear forms as well. They're really, really cool. They're on you can check that video out on my channel. It's really, really good. Yeah, 2 forms up for the Guardian Druid. Well done, Blizz. This is how you upgrade a class from one expansion to another. You give it some new spells. The weakness of Immortal's Adrenaline for Guardian Druid was magical damage, and the Savage Defense was not really reliable. So now they upgrade it with a reliable anti-physical, with a good physical active mitigation, yeah, and a good magical active mitigation, so you can deal with that, yeah. They've taken the weak spots and they made them strong again. Like, the active mitigation wasn't great, so they upgraded that. the Guardian Druid didn't have any active mitigation against magical damage. They gave it that. Yeah, they gave us Moonfire. They gave us these new abilities to work with. And it's really, really fun. And the Lacerate thing, what people found annoying, they upgraded that with upgrading Thrash. 2 thumbs up. Great job, Blizzard. It's great fun to play. Highly recommend it if you want to go into tanking. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.